Yours is nicer.
No, it's like all in the frame.
We're live, by the
We're
way.
Hello.
Cindy's complaining about
I said, why does that get a better mic than
the
me?
mic stand that she gets. Her mic stand, to be fair, is nicer than my mic stand.
I don't like that it's covering my face over here. So yeah. Anyway, welcome to the RD Buzz, where we talk about all things Raleigh real estate, restaurants, recreation, just news in the area. Happy to have you guys here live with us tonight, and happy to have everybody that's tuning in at a later time. As you guys are watching, we love to have you type in the comments, either live or later, where you're watching from. It's so fun for us to see, where people are watching from, whether it's here or other places around the country or world. We have had a lot of people from other countries before too, which is fun. So let us know in the comments. And as we're discussing too, feel free to put any questions you have about the area, the market, in the chat, even if they don't pertain to the subject we're talking about. We'll be sure to hit all of those as we're going here too.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a big one. Definitely toss your comments or your questions, better yet, into the chat so we can answer those as we go. But yeah, we're gonna kick it off tonight with an article from Wallet Hub. Wallet Hub named Cary the second hottest housing market, or second best housing market in the country.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised when we originally saw it. I was like, this is like really interesting, because I feel like in general, our area around the whole triangle has like cooled quite a bit in 2025 in general. Of the areas that have been the least cool, though, Cary is definitely the one that still can feel kind of competitive.
But on this same study, though, Raleigh performed well and Durham performed well. Yeah. And I mean, to me, this study just confirms any kind of narrative that you want to spin, you can with data. And I'm not saying that Cary's not a hot housing or a good housing market. It 100% is. But I think sometimes people hear, best housing market, and you think of like this really hyper competitive housing market. And that's not what this study is saying. This study is basically looking at current trends, future projection trends, home appreciation, which Cary's very strong in. Things of that nature, affordability compared to other areas of the country that are much less affordable. So a lot of different factors go into naming Cary one of the best housing markets in the country. I just want to be very clear, because Cary is, our region as a whole right now is kind of in a housing slump. Demand's really low. And as a result of that, some folks will see these articles and kind of get like a misconception of, I think, what it's really saying. But sure, I'm going to share the article, and then we'll just kind of walk through it.
Yeah, and they compared like 300 cities, and they had different sizes of towns too. So you'll see like Raleigh made the large city list, and then Cary is on the mid-size city list. So
Cary
number 2 on the mid-size.
Yeah, Cary. So in mid-size, the two cities that we have in our region, Cary was one and Durham was the other. Let me scroll down here what kind of distinguishes between. Here we go. So you got large cities on the left side, mid-sized cities in the middle, and Cary's number 2 on the mid-sized city, right behind McKinney. I don't know much about McKinney, Texas, but
I don't know either.
But they do. But McKinney does show up consistently on a lot of these reports. Durham is number 3. That is. But I mean, when you think about like. So several of our videos, our most recent videos, have been about Durham. And when you think about Durham from the standpoint of affordability compared to the rest of our region, it's a very affordable area. And you have affordability, you have the accessibility. So Durham is a good housing market when you're looking at it from an affordable standpoint. And I think just a long-term projection, like when you're an affordable city and you have good access to great job markets, that's going to create a sustainable and strong housing market.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was really interesting to see that it was just like right behind Cary, and then Raleigh over at number 4 for the large size.
Yeah, Raleigh's right behind Charlotte. Charlotte's been edging out Raleigh in the last several of these studies as far as like strong housing markets and whatnot. But Nashville, Tennessee is typically at the top of these two. Austin, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. A lot of these cities are consistently in the same rankings when you look at these studies. I do think, the long-term projection of real estate in our market is good.
Yeah,
It's really
for sure.
good.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. And, obviously we love it. We live here. But, when you're looking at relocating and you're looking at places of the same size, the triangle just really punches a lot in just so many categories. Like, you'll see articles like this one's just housing market, but then Cary will get mentioned as safest city in America, or Raleigh will get mentioned as best place for, Gen Z entrepreneurs, or best place to like find a new job, like all these different things that just we continually feel like we see in the news. So it's definitely a good place to be. And I feel like, it just feels like home too. I mean, obviously this is our home, but I feel like when you move here, it's not, I don't know, like, I feel like some of these other cities just feel like almost like a place you want to go visit, but maybe not like settle down in, because it's just like constantly busy. And here I feel like it's just a little more peaceful. And
for sure.
So it's just a good place to be.
Yeah. So speaking of growth, one area that is growing substantially is a place called Pittsboro, which is just south of Chapel Hill. And if you watch a lot of our videos, we talk a lot about how Pittsboro is projected to grow substantially over the next decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. There's a lot of things that Pittsboro is lagging behind on, because it is a rapidly growing area, but it's still that's commercial growth. And so there was a developer who's actually eyeing a potential target in Pittsboro.
Yeah, so very exciting for our friends over in Chatham County to be getting.
It could also be a Harris Teeter.
Yeah.
So that's the catch. It could be a Harris Teeter.
Yeah,
we don't know which one.
The current thought is this could either be a Target, a Home Depot, or a Harris Teeter, or I think a Publix or something like that. So we're crossing our fingers for Chatham County to get a
I would be
Target
very
and not
shocked.
another grocery store.
I would be very shocked if it's a Home Depot, because it would be right beside
Lowe's.
The Lowe's.
It's next to the current Lowe's, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, Pittsboro will need what they're looking for is basically like a national grocery brand, and Target obviously fits within that. If you're talking about like a super Target or whatever they call
it,
it,
right,
the
the
grocery
big
section.
Ones.
Yeah. But I mean, Pittsboro is going to need something like a Target for the growth that they're going to have over the next several decades. So if a Target doesn't come today, it's going to come down the road, and other things will follow as well. They've already got a Walmart, but other things will follow in suit that kind of line up with that. But yeah, it could be a Target, and it could be a Publix or a Harris Teeter.
It could be really exciting, or just
not at all. Or not at all. There is though. So we're going to talk about Durham quite a bit tonight. Durham, actually, our next video that we're going to post this week is top zip codes, or top zip code in Durham, not zip codes, but zip code.
Don't give it away.
No, I am going to give it away. I mean, but I'm not going to go into why. But so the top performing zip code in Durham, real estate wise, like which zip code is showing the most price growth year over year, and it's like not even close, is 27712, which is North Durham. And North Durham in general, I mean, you talk about growth from like a commercial standpoint, residential standpoint. North Durham is growing rapidly, and one of those growth areas is I'll share the screen so you can see the concept art, but it's an old Coca-Cola bottling facility. I say old, it's closed now.
If you're from Durham, you've definitely passed it so many times. It's like the old Coca-Cola building on Hillsborough Road. So that has been sold and will be demolished soon.
Yeah, and so they had mentioned in kind of the early stages that this would be a like a small grocery option was going to go in there.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe something like a Trader Joe's. I mean, there's only so many small grocery options.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a Sprouts, and I don't think I've ever even been to a Sprouts, but I know they've got like a nice following.
Yeah,
People
Sprouts.
enjoy it.
I feel like it's kind of similar. I went through the first time actually. There is another Sprouts in Durham now, but it's on like really close to South Point. So
I didn't know
far,
there was a Sprouts in Durham.
Yeah, I mean it's so far from the people in North Durham. You probably would not drive that far for a grocery store. usually don't unless I'm just in that area. But I was over that direction and I was like, I'm going to go into here because I've never been in before. And when I walked in, it really reminded me, it almost felt like if Whole Foods and Trader Joe's like had a baby, it would be Sprouts.
Interesting.
Like it felt like it had a lot of like Trader Joe's feels smaller and they have a lot of like cute, interesting objects and well, not objects, food items.
Yeah.
And Whole Foods has a lot of the health stuff. And I kind of feel like this was like a mesh of those two things. So I'm really excited about it. We have so many Harris Teeter. Not that I feel like we have so many are hating on Harris Teeter in today's live, but
we shop at
Harris Teeter. So I love Harris Teeter, but we have so many of them in Durham and in North Durham specifically because they bought out Kroger a few years ago. So we used to have like more of a mix of grocery options. And now it's like Harris Teeter. Yep. So I'm really excited just to have anything different and unique. We are also getting a new Publix in Durham, North Durham as well. But that's not in this same facility.
But this shopping
this is like
center,
a niche kind of thing, which is really exciting.
And
like
there's going to be
foods.
There's going to be some nice things in the shopping center. What's that restaurant that we really
like? First Watch. Yeah.
First Watch. That's
First
it.
Watch
it's going to have
coming.
a First Watch.
Which is going to be really cool to have that there.
Because the tough part about North Durham's like, and I mean, I know that First Watch is a chain, but like North Durham is like just king of the chains.
Yeah, but not even that many.
But
like there's not. It's just fast food.
It's
yeah,
fast food
it's like there's not a whole lot. There's really just not a lot of dining in general in North Durham compared to South Durham.
Yeah,
outside of fast food. So I'm excited. I know First Watch is a chain, but it is good. It's not like I don't know. It feels like healthier, I suppose. And, like you can get a salad or something. Like it feels fresh, if that makes sense. And so I'm excited to have like a fresh sit down option. Yeah. Or they at least make you think, well, I mean, you can get a salad. You can't freeze a salad, right? So, I mean, there's gotta be parts of it that are fresh at least. So I'm excited about that. It'll be fun to have a little another breakfast spot around
but North Durham is exploding. And and I mean, like this is kind of old news. This article, we haven't done lives in so long. We missed so much news. This article came out in July as far as this announcement goes with Sprouts and First Watch and some of these other companies that are going to go into the shopping center. But it's also going to have apartments. So it's going to be one of those like mixed use development spaces. From the art rendering, it looks like it's going to be one where like the first level is your commercial space,
right?
And the upper levels are going to be like your apartment living.
Yes.
So probably somewhat similar to like what you see in like a Fenton or something like that,
but
on a much smaller, much smaller scale.
Yeah, but there are going to be a lot of other commercial things inside too, outside of just First Watch and the grocer. There's like a Pilates gym that's been announced, a salon, and I think there's still some other openings. I would like to petition for a swig. I think that would be really cool to pay homage to the fact that this was a Coca-Cola plant and swig is a soda. I mean, it's a chain as well, like popular. It's a soda chain. So you go and there's like all these weird configurations of soda. Like it's really big, like out in Utah. So I think that would be kind of cool because those are popping up in other parts of the country now. And it would be neat to pay homage to that since this was a soda plant to begin with. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't think Swig's going to come, but if you work for Swig, here's my petition for a great location for you.
Yeah. Speaking of more of North Durham, if you've ever driven up Duke Street, there's these not they will be apartments. These office buildings. They got like these curved edges, like they're kind of really like, I don't know. They look like they're straight from like the 90s or something. I think
like the 80s. Yeah, very 80s.
Yeah. And so, I mean,
kind of a cross from like NCENT and like if you've been to like the Chick-fil-A and stuff on Roxborough Road, like on the backside. Yeah, but that like general vicinity near Cookout and Staples.
Yeah. But anyway, they're going to be tearing those down and replacing those with some 3-4 story apartment complexes. So Durham loves the apartment complexes.
Yeah, we're really into the apartments right now.
Yeah. So there'll be more.
I'm just crossing my fingers that they all look a little bit different. I feel like the modern apartment complex is like very overdone. And I feel like they all look exactly the same. And I don't know, maybe it's just me getting old. Maybe did our parents say this about all like the brick apartments that went up in like the 80s and the 90s? They're probably like, these all look the same. But now I feel like, all the modern ones kind of look the same. So I'm hoping maybe they'll look different. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, lots of growth happening in North Durham.
Yeah. And speaking further about growth in North Carolina, so some of the growth in North Carolina is pushing out the North Carolina Southern accent,
Womp womp.
which is kind of sad,
It
actually.
is sad.
There was an article that Axios did where they were interviewing I guess it'd be a linguist. I don't know, somebody at NC State that studies like languages and dialects and whatnot. And basically the thought is within a generation that the accent, like the North Carolina Southern accent, will be gone.
Yeah. I mean,
but I mean, honestly, like
I
don't know that many people in this area that have a Southern accent.
Yeah, that's true. Like I'm born and raised North Carolina, so is Zach. But I feel like most of our friends are not. So, this is a very transient area, especially like the pocket of the Triangle where a lot of people move in because there's so many great universities here, the Research Triangle Park. So it just brings in people from all over the country. So you have a lot of different accents that come into the area. So it's definitely, it's less and less people that are born and raised from here that stay in this area. So, naturally that kind of lends itself to losing that. But I think that's going to be a thing across the whole country. Like I feel like regional accents are going to disappear everywhere, right?
Yeah, like, I feel
like the New York accent or the Boston accent, like those are probably changing a lot too, because most people moving to those areas for jobs are probably not from there either.
Yeah. But it is sad. But I mean, it's part of the growth. But I told Cindy, I was like, I'm making it my job to instill my accent into our children.
Yes, he's trying to teach them new ways of saying words they already say.
Correct ways, not new ways. Correct ways of saying words.
Yeah. He told him it's no longer window, it's winder. And I was like,
that's what our grandpa always said.
We're going with it. So we're confusing the toddlers. This is not a window.
Yeah.
Even though that's what you call it.
But I mean, it does come with growth. And I mean, I think like you talk about North Carolina accent. I mean, if you were to go to smaller, like if I were to go back to my hometown, I'm going to hear the North Carolina accent. Whereas here, it's just so much more of like a transient area. So
yeah, for sure.
You're going to lose it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So moving into housing market related things. So in this is actually a chart that we showed quite a bit back when we were doing these live. But it basically shows the states that are above or below pre-pandemic levels worth of inventory. So one thing our region has seen this year is substantial growth in how many homes are on the market, or we call that inventory, how much inventory is on the market. And the higher the inventory, typically the more buyer friendly the market is. And so our area has seen substantial growth in that. So it's just become a more buyer friendly market. But it's not just our area, it's also the entire state of North Carolina. So North Carolina, I'll share the screen here, or at least I thought I was going to.
It doesn't want to for some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't. But North Carolina is one of 13 states that is above pre-pandemic levels worth of
15.
Inventory.
One of 15.
One of 15, you're correct.
Yeah.
So we are 1% above where we were pre-pandemic. So when we're saying pre-pandemic, we're referring to obviously September 2025 now, but we're referring to September 2019. So where were we in that year? And we're 1% above as a state where we were that year. But I mean, look at some of these states. I mean, Tennessee is 35% above where they were.
That's crazy.
It is wild.
That's like, is that the highest state? I think.
Yeah, because next is Texas at 31%.
Really interesting.
Look at Illinois.
Yeah.
Negative.
It's really interesting because that
60.
whole pocket, like northeast,
Negative
and then kind of
60.
coming west, is like, really high numbers, negative 60, negative 40.
So
like maybe it's like less construction up there, because I feel like areas up there are maybe more built out, or what is it?
It could be that. I think we're seeing a reversal of the pandemic market,
like moving
right?
people.
So like if you were to make this like a heat map or something, it's got like red is where the markets are the hottest. Blue is where they're like, the coolest. Like this would be blue and this would be like as red as you could get.
Yeah, that's
but,
true.
But in the pandemic, it would have been
the opposite,
reversed because everybody was moving out of those states into like the southern states. And so I think you almost see
everybody moving back up.
Yeah. And not even like a full reversal, but like like somewhat of like a shift in the pandemic market. I mean, we have clients who move down here and they're moving back to where they came from. And so that is something that's happening. So
yeah, it's very, very
but
interesting.
yeah, I mean, you look at the Northeast. Northeast is a completely different market than we are in the Southeast. But I mean, North Carolina, out of this whole map, North Carolina is still a really balanced location.
Yeah, for sure.
Texas, Florida, Tennessee.
Apparently, everybody's moving to Alaska, which is really interesting.
Look at Alaska.
-40%. That is wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah, some of this kind of tests my geography. I need like the
I know it's even harder with like the different colors and stuff too. It's like throwing you off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a decent number of them. But
if you want Zach to come on here live and do a quiz on the geography, post it in the comments later. If someone says it, you have to do it.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
That is not true.
I need your support.
But so when it comes to the housing market now, obviously it is really cool. So, but I think we will see a completely different, maybe not completely different market next year, but I think we're like bottoming out.
Yeah.
Or have already bottomed out in our area.
Yeah. We'll probably swing back, hopefully not to the -40% mark again. But
no. I don't think it'll be that bad.
Hopefully we'll just get just a little more demand so that so get some more inventory out there and have a little more demand.
So Housing Wire wrote an article talking about mortgage rate projections and kind of where they expected things to go. And it was looking at like Fannie Mae's projection at the end of the day. So Fannie Mae had projected that rates by the end of next year, not this year, but 2026 would be 6.1%, I believe. So like right there on the threshold of being into the fives. However, they've revised that and now they're expecting by the end of next year to be at 5.9, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what the magic number is that's going to like kick the housing market into high gear, but I think it's somewhere in the fives. Maybe it's a 5. I do think there'll be something psychological about having a 5 in front of the mortgage rate.
Yeah.
And I think that will be enough to, even if you can get like, even if there's hardly any difference between a 6.1 and a 5.9.
But it just does something to your brain. It's the same when you're at the mall or wherever. And it's like one thing's $12.99. You just tell yourself it's $12, even though it's really $13. But
exactly.
You tell yourself it's 12. So.
And I mean, if you've got really good credit, low debt to income ratio, or a good debt to income ratio, like, you're not going to get a 5.9. You're going to get something lower. You might get a 5.5 or something much more competitive. And so that's going to put rates back somewhat close to where they were before the pandemic housing boom back in like 2019 when they were, I can't remember what exactly
4s and 5s
but yeah. It was 4s and 5. I mean, we're not getting into the 4s anytime soon.
Yeah.
If ever, but I think we will hopefully get into the 5s next year. And that, once you get into the 5s for mortgage rates, it's, I don't know. I mean, I could see the housing market just really booming again.
Yeah.
So did you just yawn?
I did. It's fighting. It's,
oh my goodness.
It's 6:55. So it's time for this old lady to go to bed.
That is not that late. That is not that late.
Says the one that falls asleep on the couch at 9.
I do, but it's not 9. It is 6:55. Again, it's like 6:55. It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Speaking of like the
rounding down,
just rounding down. So, but no, I mean, I do think mortgage rates, like, it is good news that the projections are coming backwards essentially for mortgage rates. And
Yeah.
and I think with
anything
the Fed,
that's not continuing to go
Yeah.
in an increased projection is good. So we
Yeah.
definitely don't want to see them get way back up like they were. So
yeah, and just
anything on the downward trend is positive news.
Yeah,
for
and
us.
just for reference, mortgage rates today were 6.38 according to Mortgage News Daily. So, I mean, they've got a decent amount to fall between. You're holding back and going
Just
again.
trying so hard. You're just you're just talking a lot over there.
Unbelievable.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all we got, and might as well end it since Cindy's over here about to fall asleep on the podcast. Gracious. Yeah. I was going to dig into some local housing data, but I'll just save that for next time.
Yeah.
Because I know that'll put you to sleep. Cindy does not like housing data stuff. She finds it so boring. I love it. I love nerding out.
No, I like listening to it. I just don't think other people want to listen to it.
Well, I mean,
that don't do this for a living,
Well, but I mean, you do if you're buying a house. If you're buying a house, you want to know what the
there's
market
certain
is.
times that you want to know.
Yeah,
and that's
you
like
want to know.
a 0.05% of your life, and then the rest you're just a normal person.
Yeah.
It doesn't look at this stuff every day.
Anyway,
yes.
well, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight.
Yes.
Again, put in the chat where you're joining from. Drop us a question below. And we'll see y'all next time, I guess.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Thank y'all.